wealth, fame, power. Gold Roger, the king of the pirates, obtained this and everything else the world had to offer, and in his dying words drove countless souls to the seas.
You want my treasure? You can have it. I left everything I gathered together in one place. Now you just have to find it.
These words lured men to the Grand Line, pursuing dreams greater than any ever dared to imagine. This is the time known as the Great Pirate Era. Come on board and bring along all your hopes and dreams.
Oh, shit. Can't do that part.
Together.
I can't.
You ruined it.
Whatever. Cue the music.
All right. Time to do the show. Welcome to Don't Evolve Me, the place like Ash, Customs, Pikachu. We don't evolve, we just level up. Welcome, Romero.
Hello.
I feel like we've been prepping this episode for like 9 months now.
Yeah. I think so. You're right.
Yeah. Because like I think like the second episode we ever did, the pivot episode.
Yeah.
Oh wait. I don't even know if this is true. Welcome, Romero, all-along sympathizer, Green.
Oh, nice.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I don't know if you are an all-along sympathizer. 1 second. But yeah, on the Pivot podcast, I told you to give me 3 shows I need to watch, and you're like, "Fuck that! You get 1, because this one is going to take you like 3 to 4 years anyway." And you're like, "One Piece." And you know what? I didn't know if I was going to jump on board. And then I saw the show. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a try. It looks fun.
Yeah.
And I ended up watching the show in like 3 days. And I was like, okay, this is great. Let's try the anime, and I'm in.
Yeah.
On episode 24 of whatever the number is now.
1,075 or 76, I think, at this point.
All right, I only have 1,050 more episodes to go.
It's a journey, man. It's a journey. Also, for the listeners, my man is talking about One Piece, the live action adaptation. Now he's become a fan, and now he's watching the anime. So
yeah, I'm doing this backwards, right? Because you have the manga and then the anime. And then eventually the live action that Netflix didn't ruin this time.
No, they actually pretty good.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's get into the traditional show beginning. Show me your wares. You got some anime on.
I am wearing a Demon Slayer shirt right now.
Nice.
So
I have Jake the dog hat.
I see it. I was like, I know that.
Oh yeah.
Adventure Time respect.
Oh yeah. It's under the cap. It says I'm weird, which is perfect for me. This is so I work at a school now, and when we do like Wacky Wear Day, I just wear this hat.
You guys do Wacky Wednesdays or?
It was Thursday, I believe.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I know we missed the opportunity for Wacky Wednesday. It's kind of disappointing. Maybe it was Wednesday. I don't know. I didn't even dress up. Everything I thought of like restrict movement, and that I'm the one who deals with behaviors out of school, so I have to like move around.
Yeah, you can't wear. Yeah.
I get beat up at that job. I got beat up today. My arm is just like scratched.
Now that I really see it, it's like, yeah, god damn, dude.
I know. I gotta like wear sleeves, but I freaking hate wearing sleeves. All right, let's get into it. What are you nerding out on?
It's One Piece, dude.
Still?
I told you I'm on episode 8. What, 883?
883?
Yeah.
Goddamn. 869, 59 episodes? Yeah, that math tracks. I'm like watching Romero mentally do the math in his head.
What are you asking me now?
How many episodes ahead of me you are?
Oh, how many?
Yeah, I think it's
Holy
like 859.
Oh my God. You see, we're in the
cheating.
Yeah, I don't care.
He's like,
We're in the future.
Hey, it's not like you're gonna have a calculator in your pocket when you need.
I am 859 episodes.
Hey, got it. You see?
Good job using that calculator of yours.
I was prepping. You know, they said I was never going to have a calculator in my pocket at all times, and they were surely wrong.
Yeah, I showed them.
Like, I don't need to do this mental head math, and here I am using mental head math. I will say, like, when I do, like, especially if it's, like, multiplication.
That'll do.
And I do it in my head, and then, like, or, like, a division, or, you know, when I'm trying to do percentages, and, like, oh, what's the percentage of this? I'm like, it seems like it's going to be, like, 61.3, and they'll just, like, they'll do it, and, like, holy shit, you're right. I'm like, I am? Oh, sweet. Cool. It's more of like a feeling out thing. Like, I feel like this is the correct number here. And it's like, I'm like 90% of the time right. I'm like an A- math.
But you got to be confident with it. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm glad I got that.
I'm usually pretty I like when I'm, here's the thing. Here's a tell for me in like all games. If I'm super confident, I'm probably bullshitting.
Oh, okay.
And if I'm like, you know, it might be this, it might be that, like, then I'm probably telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that I do that, so I'll also be confident if I'm telling the truth, too.
Okay. Very, very interesting.
I mix it up in the games where you have to lie.
It just depends on the situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right. So you just One Piece?
Just One Piece.
Okay. One Piece is also definitely for me. Episode 24 now. We started last weekend.
Okay.
So 24 episodes in. Other things, Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon.
Okay.
Scott was playing it last weekend, and I got really jealous. I'm like, I really want to play that again. So I made a new account. I made a second account on my Switch, so I can play Pokemon games a second time, because I couldn't, like I'm not going to delete my games just so I can relive it.
Yeah.
So I made a second account.
That's fair.
Scott's playing it, though. His favorite Pokemon is Pikachu. Mm-hmm. And so my game's Let's Go Eevee, and he's like, I don't care. He doesn't care that Eevee's the starter. But he was in a Viridian Forest, and there was Pikachu there. And when he got his Pikachu, he just like, I got Pikachu! And my heart was like, yes, this is the moment.
Okay, you answered my question with that. I was going to ask you, as a parent, what's it like to see, the youth get into something that you were into when you were younger, or even now?
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
So Maven really likes Charmander.
Mm-hmm.
She picked Charmander of the three. Like when you may choose yours, and you pick up like the three, and she chose Charmander. And I think you've seen the video of it.
Yeah.
So we got her like a little plushie.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we lost that plushie this week, but that was like her stuffy. Like everywhere she went, she was grabbing Charmander and like this other like pillow owl.
Uh-huh.
And she'll like walk around, and she'll like go and play with it. And then we lost it, and then I ended up getting a Squirtle plushie. Sapphire surprised me with it. Mm-hmm. And I had another Squirtle plushie as well. And it was really cute because like she like grabbed the Squirtle plushie and just looked at me and just started hugging it. I'm like, oh. And then last night, I put her to sleep. She didn't want to go to sleep. I didn't put her to bed, and sometimes if I don't put her to bed, then she makes a huge fuss. I don't know if it's a pattern. It's probably a pattern.
It's a pattern.
So I went in, and I'm like, okay, well, here's milk, here's this, go to sleep. I'm like, here, watch Squirtle for me. And she like just hugged the thing super hard. And I'm like, oh.
You're not getting that back, man.
Probably not. Scott used to sleep with it too, so I thought like I was never gonna get it back. Mm-hmm. But then he's like, I like Pikachu, and I had a not Pikachu but Pichu.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah.
The baby one.
Other things I'm learning on the TikTok. So
the TikTok
for the videos. Mm-hmm. I've been doing a lot of prep for it. So I just watched No Way Home, so I can do that the next video.
Okay.
I've been wanting to do it this week, but it's been freaking draining when I come home.
Let's see. I think the last review I saw you do was Eternals, which I agree on.
Yeah. That movie was not great. I think I gave it like a 2+ or a 3- initially, but like rewatching it, I'm like, oh, this movie's so boring. It looks great.
It looks immaculate, but it's boring.
It's hard to care about characters who are just like not like the interesting characters weren't the main characters. The main characters were just straight laced, and it's like that's boring. Give me some excitement.
It's too much. I don't know. The emotions were just like, I don't know how to describe it.
I mean, they are robots.
I didn't say that they were animatronic.
They are, though, in the movie. They are, like, technically just robots.
I think it was just like there was a tone there. It was just really serious.
Yeah, it didn't feel like a Marvel movie at
Yeah.
all. All right. Should we get into some news?
Yeah.
It's time for a news quickie. Oh, yeah. All right, let's get into some news. First, on this day of recording, some sad news, unfortunately. Harry Potter actor Michael Gambon died today.
R.I.P. Dumbledore.
Rest in peace, Dumbledore. I know it was kind of sad on the news, but he was 82, died of pneumonia, I believe, in the hospital, but peacefully.
Okay, that's good.
Long life. But sad to see Dumbledore go. He is, I think for a lot of us, he's like one of those main characters that just sits with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on. I have like 5 of these, but we'll go quick. One Piece Season 2 for the live action has been approved.
Yeah.
I mean, no shit. It's like one of the most popular shows in the world.
It's like
there's so many like students that I have in my school that just like talk about anime.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, have you watched One Piece? And, like, everyone's watching One Piece.
I mean, like, oh.
Like, you're not cool. Everyone's watching it right now. I'm like, well, yeah. Like, it's actually like in mainstream media now.
Yeah, it's a big. One Piece was already a big deal, but now with this live action, you're getting a whole new wave of fans.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm one of them now.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't know that live action was going to get me in. I thought, okay, we'll get into it.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
All right. Rick and Morty has new voices. Have you heard this?
No, I didn't know that.
They didn't reveal who did the voices, but they revealed the voices.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds really, really similar to both Rick and Morty.
I would not have known that. Because the creator, right?
Yeah, Justin Roiland.
Didn't he get in some hot water?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was trying to, like, lure and groom, teenage girls using, like, the Morty language and voice. Yeah, you should see the text. It's not great. And he was... Either the case was dismissed or he's proven not guilty, but like the actual text messages, it's like it seems like Morty was trying to flirt with girls, and it's like no, it's from Justin Roiland. I hope he's just making a bad creative choice here and like is trying to be funny, but no, it doesn't. How
do you come back from that? Like, what's your response?
I don't know, but apparently Dan Harmon, the other co-creator, so he just did an interview this week, and he talked about how he hasn't talked to Justin in 4 years. Like, he just does the voices.
Why? Is it because of this?
Well, no. What ended up happening was Dan brought in a bunch of writers from Community.
Okay.
And so what he wanted to do is he wanted to be the idea people, him and Justin be the idea people, and then they essentially let the crew do most of the work, and they just kind of approve, or they come up with the idea and they do all the writing, which is what I would love to do for my comic.
Sure.
Because the actual writing is tedious, but the ideas are fun. So I get that as like a writer, like you wouldn't want to do like the grueling work.
Sure.
But apparently Justin Roiland did not like this. He felt like it was Dan's way of taking control and taking over the show, and he wanted more creative control. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I got out of it.
Okay.
All right. This news quicky's never quick. Loki season 2 is coming out.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, it's gonna be. I'm excited for it, but I'm also like crossing my fingers because Marvel lately has been pretty disappointing. Have you seen Secret Invasion?
No, dude. If I can be honest with you, I think the last Marvel thing that I even watched. Oh God, what was it? It wasn't Thor: Love and Thunder. It was
Ant-Man?
Yeah, it was Ant-Man.
Have you seen Guardians yet?
Straight up, I tried to watch it.
Yeah.
And I remember passing out.
Oh no.
It wasn't that it was boring. I was just fucking tired.
Oh no, Guardians Volume 3 is pretty good.
When I was watching it, I was into it. I was like, this is pretty good, but I was just so tired and I passed out. And then I just never got back to it.
I will say that the second time I watched it, I also did the same thing. But when you work in the mental health field, you just like...
Yeah.
Yeah, you like... You just... when you're tired, you're tired. I have two more. Invincible creator Robert Kirkman stated that he thinks Invincible only needs 7 to 8 seasons.
I think that's interesting.
So like reading the comic, I think 7 to 8 seasons seems about right.
Yeah,
I think so. Because there's some arcs that you can skip or like you can adjust, and it's really the first season really was like the first 1 to 12 issues, but they pulled from like other later issues too. So I think 7 to 8 makes sense.
it's a really long time.
Yeah,
and that just kind of makes me wonder. It's like, all right, so then in terms of consistency, what are we talking about? Or like release every year, every 2 years?
probably every 2 years. I'm assuming.
I'm already an old man, dude.
Like, just come out immediately. All of the episodes. That'd be so nice. All right, last little bit of news. Gen V, the boys spinoff, looking to be pretty good from recent reviews.
I'm too tired, man. I'm too fucking tired. All right, I haven't even seen season 3 of The Boys.
What are you doing?
Working.
Stop it.
And podcasting, Nick.
Stop it. Just watch. No. Boys season 3 is arguably the best season of The Boys. Definitely worth a watch.
Okay.
And apparently this show, from the reviews I read, pretty good. Like, just like The Boys level. And I'm like, all right, it comes out this Friday since the recording on September 28th. All right, should we get into it?
All right.
Let's get into it. Oh, we're actually not doing bad on time. 16 minutes. And we're getting into the main topic. Woo! We doing it.
Spot on.
All right. We're talking live action. Should we talk live action first? I think live action is probably where the casual audience and my audience and myself is more into.
I would agree with that.
So I have a bunch of questions for you. Because you are an anime watcher. You were a fan before. And so we have like this we have this like duo where I'm like what Tom would say, the dirty casual. And we have the fan.
Shout out to Tom, man.
Tom, dirty casual, but still nerdier than you, Chatfield.
Yeah, he'll appreciate that.
I think last time I came on, he's like, Tom, nerdier than you are, but not on this particular subject, Chatfield.
That's a good one. Yeah,
we're doing Marvel villains. He's like, if you want a dirty casual, have me on. I'm like, dude, I like the back and forth. I like the super nerd, the medium, and then like the newbie, because it gives you 3 different fresh takes.
I gotta come on when you guys are doing it like all together. We gotta do that.
But yeah, I kind of want to do another like draft, like a Marvel like MCU draft, maybe like heroes this time instead of. Villains.
I'm fucking in for sure.
Did you hear what we were doing? What the scenario was?
Kind of. Remind me, like.
Okay, so like we had a draft our villain team.
Yeah.
5 members that were to achieve the goal.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal was to kill Cassie Lang.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Right? I didn't tell him, by the way, beforehand.
What was their reaction? What was Ernie's reaction?
Ernie just laughed for a straight minute. I think like you're on the rocking chair. Like this is the section where you just hear the rocking chair go back and forth because he's laughing so hard and he's just rocking and it laughing.
Oh god, that's fucking funny.
Oh
man,
we should almost do like a one piece. Like once I get further into it, like a one piece draft. Because there's so many characters,
dude.
Like in the live action, I'm like I don't even know who this character is, but I am intrigued.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's for real dive in.
Okay. So, I just have questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have. But I kind of want to talk over like the first and kind of recap a little bit. So let me pull up unless you want to take it away.
Nah, this is all you, sir.
I know. I like being on your show because then I don't have to like prep at all.
You don't have to work.
Exactly. You know how it is. I always love it when guests come on and like, oh man, I could definitely do this show, or I could do my own show. I'm like, dude, you don't realize how much work
can you?
Like, okay.
The technical difficulties.
Series. Oh man, all the technical
rescheduling. Oh god, it's fun. It's a great time.
Oh, the rescheduling is...
While he's doing that, for anyone who is interested in starting a podcast, I highly encourage you do that. It is fun. There are issues, no matter what, no matter how many years you've been doing it, but it's a fucking great time. I regret nothing. So
No, it's great. It's just a lot of work.
yeah,
Like when I tell people I have to do a podcast, I have to do like when I just talk about it, they just think of like the fun, the talking back and forth. You know, oh, you're just having fun with your friends. I'm like, okay, it is that.
the editing.
But it's like, but the editing is not that bad for like the way I have everything set up. Like I've got to a place where editing can take 10 minutes.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yeah. But like the hard part is the scheduling, the just coming up with the best show possible and coming with the prep. So like for the fact that I don't have to like pull up things in the middle of the podcast, I failed on that prep. Got all the questions down.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I should probably recap a little bit. So I can't think of like why I wanted to do One Piece. I think maybe like the hype around it, like it was just really good. And I'm like, well, Ro keeps telling me to do it. And then I like looked at how many episodes it was. I'm like, 8 episodes? I can do 8 episodes.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And then I just remember watching like the first episode, Romance Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the not the scene, but the character that just hooked me in right away was Monkey D. Luffy. And I'm trying to look at, I forget who the actor is.
He's a young kid. Can't remember his name off the top of my head.
I can't either. Inaki Godoy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did I say that right?
That's him.
He plays a really good Monkey D. Luffy. And can I start with this hot take?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I only watched 24 episodes. For any One Piece fan, or every One Piece fan out here, please do not hate me on this take. I actually like the live action version of Monkey D. Luffy better than the anime version so far.
Okay.
Simply because, like, Monkey D. Luffy in live action is just so fucking inspiring. And I know he is in the anime too.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I feel like in the live action, at least initially, they, like, really focus on that aspect that he is, like, he's just going to inject positive toxicity. Like, he's, like, positive. I saw this on, what is it? Cinematic Honest Trailers on YouTube. That's what they called it. He's like, he's going to infect you with positive toxicity.
That's a good way to put it, because that's how it is. Yeah.
He is very, and like in the anime, he's like this too. But like, I think in live action, the actor just does such a great job of like showing off like that positivity, like in like his actions, his mannerisms, like. Whereas in like in the anime, he comes off as just a stupid kid almost. At least in the first. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, maybe. Is he?
No, I didn't have to sneeze. I just like I'm having a hard time talking.
Oh.
We keep it real here. I'm not editing this out. You hear it all.
Okay.
But no, he's just a very like charismatic, like he makes you want to believe in yourself. And I just love like the philosophy he has. He's like, my only dream is to be a pirate. My only dream is to find the One Piece. And if I die doing that dream, then I have lived. And I just like that philosophy, just especially like for podcasting, for the TikToks for Don't Evolve Me. And I feel like you can feel this too with your own podcast, where it's like, no, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to do what I can. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool to see him inspire other people.
Yeah, you see like the ripple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, he doesn't have it figured out at all. It's like, it's just going to work out. But I'm like, God damn, you're like, he's going to make it work. Like, I think he's
like, you believe it.
Yeah. And so I really like that. Like, he's the character that just like put me in that show.
Mm. I remember watching an interview of him and Ichiro Oda, the creator. Okay. And Oda said to him, he's like, the reason that he's like, when I saw your audition tape, I just laughed because you have the face, like you have the expressions of Luffy. Like, you are
Oh,
Monkey
he
D.
does,
Luffy.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I could see that. So, he got it.
He's great. All right, Romero, my first question for you. What is your overall thoughts on the live action? Because you not grew up with the anime, but you watched the anime. You've become this huge fan. And that was like the show that you wanted me to watch. What's your thoughts on the live action with that?
Honestly, I think it's 11 out of 10. Those are strong words, but
Oh man, I should shame you for not using the "Don't Involve Me" scale here.
well, I don't know if I can use.
Well, I was gonna ask, that's like one of my last questions before we get into that.
Okay. We'll circle back. We can circle back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a wonderful adaptation. The characters are like the people that play the characters, spot on. They nailed it. The storyline, I think for live action, it works.
Yeah.
It's good. Like everything.
It's very close. It has like the same themes. I know that the Marines are a little bit different. I know the grandpa character, or Luffy's grandpa.
Garp?
Yeah,
Admiral
I
Garp.
know he's not in the anime quite yet, at least where I'm caught up, or if he's in the anime at all. I have no idea. But like he's in the show. And like I'm noticing the differences. But I don't mind the changes they did for the Netflix adaptation because like in spirit everything's like the same.
Yeah, with the anime it takes a lot it's a longer story.
Yeah.
Whereas the live action, the best way I could describe it is like you're getting 20 years of a story packed in 8 episodes.
Yep.
So,
which is fine. Like, 90s anime loves like the filler. Dragon Ball Z is the biggest example. A whole episode going, ah!
God damn, man! All right,
you're like, all right, we're 3 episodes into this. Are you finally done yet?
And that's a show that's near and dear to my heart. But it's like, all right, come.
When we get to the end, there's like one arc where I'm like, God damn, is this not over yet? like, come on, like just battle already.
Fucking transform already, man. Let's get to it. Scrap.
You know what, like, the metaphor I'm thinking of? It's like watching a porno where they just never fuck and it's just constant foreplay.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
You're just like, come on already. Like, are they ever going to have sex? Like, no, they are not.
All right. Okay. Let's keep going.
The climax is way worth it, though. Maybe it's not even porno. Maybe it's just sex where it's just constant edging.
No, that's it.
That's better. That's a better one.
That's it. That's enough.
Real Bears just like, no more, please.
The live action is a wonderful show. It's a wonderful adaptation, and I especially say that as an anime head, like a huge anime fan. Like, oh my god, people have tried to do live actions for the longest time.
Yeah, and
they would just drop the ball. I think over time things have gotten better.
Well, like even Netflix. I didn't watch any of these shows, but like Death Note is one of those anime.
Fucking terrible.
And apparently, like that's terrible. I'm gonna butcher this. Cowboy
Bebop.
Yeah.
Okay, I have beef with that. Cowboy Bebop. I think that could have been a hit. That could have been wonderful because the actors they chose to play the characters spot on.
Nice.
The problem though was the story, like the plots and the story. It was just way too fucking long. You watch the live action of One Piece, you're always engaged. You're always like, oh, what's going to happen next? Oh, what's going to happen next? Cowboy Bebop, there were just some scenes in there that's like, this isn't necessary. This is not necessary.
Yeah.
Why are we still watching? It was like watching.
They didn't understand what made Cowboy Bebop great.
Yeah. And they were like, one of the characters they got entirely wrong. And they brought one in that's like way too early. I'm like, this, you ruined it.
Yeah.
You ruined something great.
Whereas I will say One Piece, I'm going to talk about the show because when I watched the trailer of this show, I thought it was going to fucking suck. It looked bad.
Sure.
It just like, oh, okay, they're trying to do like it, but it doesn't seem like it's pulling off. And when you watch like the show just from like without the sound on or like any, it kind of looks that way. It doesn't look. There's moments in the show where it doesn't look great. However, When you're fully engaged and you're watching everything that's happening, it's a fucking ride. It's a joy.
Yeah.
It's a whimsical, just like I'm trying to like find. It's so whimsical. It's just fun. It's just
whimsical is a good word.
It's a whimsical show.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's goofy, but it's like serious at the same time. Like, people are getting slaughtered, but like it just has a goofy tone to it.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, there's like sometimes it feels a little too whimsical in like the dark moments, but it's not like Thor Ragnarok or Thor Love and Thunder where it's like, oh man, this is so heavy. Here's a joke.
Yeah.
It's like it balances pretty well, and the action, like the camera, where they just in the honest trailers too for YouTube, they're like, oh, the spin, and they just did back to back to back scenes. But I'm like, I really like the camera action in this. Like, I was engaged in all the fights.
Yeah, it's very well done. 100%.
So, okay, question for you. Is Luffy the most inspiring character of all time? He's got to be up there, right?
Okay. For me, he's definitely top tier, for sure. I'd have to say he's in my top 3, for sure.
Yeah.
If I grew up with One Piece, he would be number 1 in my book.
Probably.
But
I feel like I know who you're going to say who number 1 is.
Obviously, it's Goku.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Goku's pretty inspiring. Goku's inspiring because he's constantly just getting better. Mm-hmm. Whereas, like, Monkey D. Luffy doesn't get better. He's just, like... The fact that he's just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to attain my goal. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. It's just...
He knows himself.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to be king of the pirates. And you can't tell him shit.
No.
It's like, Luffy, but what about this? And you got this. We'll figure it out. That's fine.
There are some moments where, like, it's really interesting because the anime does this, and the Netflix adaptation does this a little bit, but not as much. Mm-hmm. Where they, like, there's one pirate who abandoned another character to go pirating, and they're like, oh yeah, that's so cool, he's so honorable. Like in the anime, he's like, oh, he's so honorable that he's gonna abandon his son to do pirating. And I'm like, no, fuck that. like he has a relationship with Monkey D. Luffy, but he doesn't have a relationship with Usopp.
Yeah, you little bitch.
Like, fucking be a parent, or at least take him with. It's probably not the smart thing to do, but I don't know. Like,
there's a question there. It's very questionable.
So speaking of Usopp, he's us in the live action. So the actor who plays Usopp, his name is Jacob Romero.
Yeah.
My name's Jacob. His name's Romero. Are we Usopp? I mean Usopp tells like all these cool stories. Here we are with a microphone. Like, if Usopp was in like modern day, would he not be a podcaster?
100%. 100%. Absolutely.
Like
millions of followers.
Oh yeah.
Millions.
Oh, Usopp. So, another question. Live action anime, movie better. Which one? Who's better? The better Monkey D. Luffy in your opinion? I already gave my answer.
Anime. I give respect. I give respect to the answer. To the actor. Like, he nails that character. But, this is he's just coming on to this world, or he's coming into this world, portraying this character, whereas the anime has been around for literally over 20 years.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how to describe it. Like, shout out to the actor because he took that baton and he's fucking running with it.
Yeah, he is.
So, you got to give credit where credit is due, but
it's hard to be an anime for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that he gets to a point where he grows as a character and becomes a little bit more inspiring. Because the anime takes its time getting there. Whereas the live action was like, we're going to convince people right away. Which makes sense. You're trying to sell the show. Mm-hmm. We already talked about the show Invincible. They had the big twist in the comics. I have the twist comic up there where I'm pointing to right now. I think comic number 7. Whereas in the first episode, they throw out the twist right away that the dad's evil.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I like the story of the comic because you just think it's a normal modern day like superhero story, but no, it's
dark.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like the TV show's like, yeah, we're just gonna we're not pretending with this is a
right
day.
here in your face. Yeah.
Nope, it's dark immediately. It's like, oh shit. And I understand it. You got to sell to your audience. You can't just sell to the fans of it. You got to sell to the casuals as well.
Yeah.
All right, so favorite live action character so far?
Ooh.
Not villain, just a character.
I don't know. It depends. If we're talking about one who inspires, it's definitely.
Let's say not Monkey D. Luffy, because I think he's my favorite.
I don't know. The actor that plays Sanji, he for some reason I really like Sanji.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I was gonna say Sanji too. He plays him very, really well.
Yeah, and
it's weird because in the anime, at least initially, he comes off as more of that badass dude.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the live action, he comes off more of more uptight.
You think so?
I think so. At least for me, he comes off as more uptight. Maybe it's just the way he looks. Not uptight as in oh man, I gotta do things a certain way, but more uptight as in he has uptight mannerisms.
You got to carry yourself a certain way.
He carries himself a certain way.
Sure.
The anime version does too, but he's more of a badass about it.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
He's up there. What do you think about
Roba Norizoa?
Yeah.
Or Zoro, excuse me.
What do you think of his character? Or the live action version of his character? Because I feel like there's a little bit of a difference.
I think it works. The actor that plays him, it works. I think it's a solid fit. If I had to choose, I think I would have gotten someone that's a little more, I don't know how to put it, a little more burly or...
Yeah, burly.
Yeah.
This actor he reminds me of Zoro. Or Zoku from Avatar.
Yeah.
He gives me Zoku vibes. Which I'm when I watched the live action, I'm like, that's cool. It kind of works. I didn't buy him joining the pirate crew.
Yeah.
Because they sold him so hard on him just being a bounty hunter, and it seemed like that was really important to him in the live action, and he looked fucking awesome. It doesn't make sense that he would follow Monkey D. Luffy, but in the anime, it makes perfect sense. He's more he's just trying to be a great swordsman.
Yeah,
that's his goal. The bounty hunter was just a way to for him to increase his skills.
Yeah,
and they come across with that with the anime or the live action, but not. How do I put it? They went so heavy on him being a bounty hunter that it just seems unrealistic that he would join Monkey D. Luffy crew. So, to me, that's a little off for his character.
Yeah. But you gotta sell it.
I really like Luffy's grandpa from the Marines.
Garp? I think that dude's solid.
Is he in the anime?
He is.
Okay.
He does not come until later. That's why I say it's very interesting. A 20-year story, all in a few episodes. If you were to watch the anime, you probably wouldn't see him for a good amount of time.
Okay.
So the fact that they revealed who he is to Luffy already, it's I get it. And the only reason why I would even justify that is how they tied it up in the end. Spoiler for anyone that's listening: if you have not watched One Piece, just skip ahead.
We should have definitely done spoilers.
Yeah,
we're doing spoilers, people. This is a review.
Yeah,
we'll just put in the captions.
So either pause this, go watch that shit, then come back, or just skip ahead,
or just listen to it if you don't care about spoilers. It's worth it, even if we spoil it for you. It's worth it. Just watch it.
You could say that. I'm not gonna say that.
Okay, Here's how I view spoilers. If the show is good and you spoil it to me, it just makes the show... It gives me a new perspective on the show. If the show is dependent on the spoiler for it to be good, it's not fucking worth watching.
Interesting logic.
That's just how I feel about it. For example, wow, I'm blinking. The M. Night Shyamalan.
Sure.
I See Dead People. Sixth Sense. I have to get there. I was blinking on the name. Sixth Sense. if I told you that he was dead the whole time, and then you watched it and you never watched this movie before, and I'm not doing spoiler for Sixth Sense. I was like the twist.
Yeah, that's like
the twist. If you don't know about that, you've been under a rock. Maybe good for you. I don't know.
Yeah,
you get to watch Sixth Sense again, or you get to watch Sixth Sense and you get to relive that experience. Unless you're listening to this, and spoiler, he's dead. But like, if you watch that show, you watch that movie, and you get to see all the twists and like how they were able to trick you, or like trick the audience. You get to see all those clues. Like, it's a new experience.
Yeah, it's a different perspective, right? It's almost like how you read a book. You read it the first time and you get an idea of things, but then you come back and then you read it again, and it's like, oh, this is different.
Yeah.
Except it's the first time you're going in. Just somebody gave you tidbits.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm a person who will like read up on spoilers and then watch the film and then just enjoy it anyway.
Sure.
There's always like a twist, and like there's always something I didn't expect that like pops up.
When you put it that way, to be fair, like before I really got into One Piece, I would watch clips. I would watch clips because I could not wrap my head around watching this fucking show. It's way too long, man. But I would see clips and they would be intriguing because I'm like, oh, who's that? Oh, what's this about? And then finally, when I decided to do it, the beginning was slow, but suddenly it got good.
Yeah.
Like the story really, that's what really pulls you in. It's the story. And then I was like, I'm in. Fuck it.
I really like the live action. Like, I like both the shows.
They're both good, yeah.
We're going to talk about this simultaneously, but I really love the fact that, like, every episode, like, we were learning about these characters and we're bringing new crewmates, and you're like, oh, this is good. But then, like, they introduce a new character. And it's, like, that character's fucking interesting and amazing. I'm like, how many new characters can you bring in? And I read, like, the little bit of history of, like, the anime, so I know there's a lot of good characters that are coming up for season 2, for like all the next seasons, even for the anime watching. Like, I'm excited for it because it seems like every new character was just exciting to like Mihawk was one of them, like one of the warlords. Just like his presence, the fact that he can just like destroy a whole fleet, and then it's like, you know what, I'm gonna let him live. I'm gonna let him do his thing. Like, I'm neutral in this. I want to see him grow. I'm like, I don't know why, I just like that character. I don't know. It's refreshing. Like, even Arlong's refreshing. The whole like, humans are racist against us. We like yeah, I get you, Arlong. I get you. Like,
dude, it's. Well, I want to make sure that we're on track here for questions. We're still good, or?
I got 3 more.
Okay, let's do that, and then.
Okay, best live action villain
ever?
No.
Or in the show?
Live action villain. So technically, ever as a season 1.
In terms of the show,
live action.
Arlong. 100%.
He's up there. I really like Clawdor.
Really?
I don't know why. He was just so menacing. Like, he's like the one villain that like I just remember. Arlong almost seemed like he was too long at the end.
You think so?
A little bit.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't like I was bored of him or anything. Like, I enjoy Arlong. I think the story thread, and I was like, okay. But that's just me. I will say that the first season, like, the last couple episodes, like, dragged a little bit. But it was still good.
There are very specific reasons why I say, or why I pick Arlong. I hate to say this right now, but down the road, when we get there, you'll see. Let's come back to this episode a year later.
When they do season 2.
Yeah.
Whenever they do season 2.
Yeah.
Also, I just realized, for a news quickie, we completely missed, like, the huge news that I've been talking about all summer. The writer's strike.
Yeah.
They've come to agreement.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's not official yet, but alright, now pay the actors. Let's get this thing rolling. They're thinking potentially by November they can get Hollywood back on track. And they're thinking early October for like the political shows.
That's interesting. That's like a quick turnaround.
Yeah, well, you know, they want to make their money.
Right, true.
They want to make their money, but they don't want to pay the people. Well, now they do. I don't know.
All right, let's see how it goes.
That makes sense. So, you think Arlong? I say Claudor. Are we missing anyone? Who's the axe hand guy? He was interesting.
Yeah, oh my god, I forgot his name.
You're going to look it up.
I got to look it up.
I think I have it here. There's so many characters, though.
I always miss that one because like I don't really care for this dude. I don't give a shit.
There's Axe Hand Morgan.
Axe Hand Morgan, yeah.
We should have got that one. Axe Hand dude. Axe Hand Morgan.
Axe Hand Morgan.
I have really enjoyed. Does he come back in the anime or is he like a one-off?
I don't want to tell you, man.
Oh, right. Okay. Don't spoil it for me.
So.
I just liked his presence. Like, he was just a character. I'm like, he just looks cool. Like, I don't care if he is a one-off in the live action. But I'm just like, I just like that they just went all out on the dude. And I like that for, like, all the characters. They just, like, went all out. They weren't lazy with it.
No,
Alvida, too.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Yeah. No. I still choose Arlong, but next to him, oh god, I'm blanking on the name. It was the butler.
Yeah, Claudor.
Yeah.
Captain Kuro.
There we go. That's what I was. Yeah,
Captain Kuro.
I'd say he's 2.
Yeah.
The actor that played him, like, spot on. For real.
I will say, in the anime version, that's the arc where I was like, God damn, just get it over with already.
Serious fucking... In the beginning, it feels like it drags out, but...
Yeah. Like, I appreciate it now, but it felt like Dragon Ball Z a little bit, where it was like, you know, I'm like, man, we've been on this, like, fight for, like, on the hill for, like, 4 episodes now.
I can touch on that. Like, I tried to watch One Piece when I was younger as a teenager, and I would watch that arc, or it would get to there, and I'd watch every fucking Saturday. But it just dragged on. I'm like, get to it. Get to it. What show am I watching right now? Is it One Piece or is it Dragon Ball Z? I can't tell the difference. So...
Oh, Dragon Ball. That's a whole other thing. I only made it to the Frieza saga because I was like, I made it. All right, time to do Cell. I'm like, yeah, Cell's worse. Like, for the whole filler aspect of it, I'm like, God damn it, I can't do this. I barely made it through Frieza.
Oh, God.
You want to go off on Dragon Ball, don't you?
I have words, but again, I'm going to save it. Like, this is One Piece, and I really want to touch on the story, but...
Okay.
I want to stay on track.
Best side character. This could be best. I think I already asked best crewmate. But best like side character. Or how about which character surprised you? Live action.
In terms of the actor portraying the character. Anything. Oh man, that's tough. If I had to choose best side character, I'd probably say Nami.
Okay.
I'd probably say Nami. Nope. Take it back. I take it back. Oh my god, I've watched this show so many times and I'm blanking on his name.
That happens.
Glasses, pink hair.
Oh, Kobe.
Yeah. I think Kobe is a solid side character. Especially like the live action, they fucking nailed him.
Oh, they did.
So
I haven't, like, in the anime, I haven't really seen much of him other than the first 2 episodes. I thought it was really interesting. They're like, Kobe's like, I want to be a Marine. And he's like, okay. Like, we're going to be enemies, like, as soon as this is over. He's like, but now we're friends.
No, sorry. I take everything back. If we're talking about whoever.
Yeah.
Garp.
Oh, yeah.
Admiral Garp, hands down.
He's
hands down.
So, I just like the chess piece. So, I'm watching Ahsoka as well. From
Okay.
Star Wars, and there's the new villain, Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the big bad of like the new. He's going to be the big bad.
The big baddie.
And he's a really famous character, and he's very like he's playing chess when everybody else is playing checkers. Like he'll be in the middle of battle. He's like, oh, I'm losing this battle. All right, everyone retreat. We're gonna go back. We're gonna refocus, and we're gonna attack people where we expect them to be. And I get like with Garp, I get like especially with him playing like chess, he's playing chess with Kobe.
Yep.
I'm like, I just felt that same way about him, and I'm like, I enjoy this character. He's thinking a couple steps ahead.
Mm-hmm. That I'll give it to the live action. You see, in the anime, you kind of see bits and pieces in terms of how he's mentored Kobe, but in the live action, it's not so much about the fighting, but you get like the intellectual side, like strategizing and stuff. Like, oh, think about your enemy.
Yeah,
so.
And I like seeing Kobe's growth with it too. And I just like their back and forth. Ooh, actually, the character that surprised me, I can't think of his name. He is the son of Axan Morgan.
Yeah.
I actually really liked his character at the end.
Yeah.
And like I kind of like his portrayal, and even like how he got his hairdo. He was just long hair, sniveling brat, and then they cut his hair, or Zoro cut his hair a certain way. And like when I watched him, like I'm pretty sure that's his hair in the comics. Like that's okay.
It's spot on.
I
dude.
see what they're doing.
It's spot on.
And then like in the anime, or I said comics, but like in the anime, I'm like, oh, yep, there it is. And I just really liked his character, like just seeing that growth. All right. What are we going to rate the live action? You said 11 out of 10.
I said 11 out of 10.
But we're going to do for the Don't Involve Me scale.
Okay. What's your highest rating? Your scale is... You don't have a 0. It's like 1 to 5, right?
1 to 5.
1 to 5?
1 is essentially a 0.
But 5 plus.
Nothing has ever got a 5 plus on this show. By anyone.
It's a 5 plus.
You're going to give it a 5 plus?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. I was going to say 5 minus.
Okay. Tell me your 5 minus, and I'll tell you my 5 plus.
Okay. Actually, I think I was like floor. I didn't know what I was going to rate it yet, because I'm like a floor. It's a 4. Like I like initially there's parts where I want to like give it a little bit lower, but I'm like, no, it's great. This is a fucking great show. It takes a lot for me to just invest into something that's completely new and out of like my realm of like Ahsoka's is out. That's not new. It's Star Wars. I know Star Wars, right? One Piece. I don't know One Piece. And I jumped into it and I was like, I wanted to watch the next episode. The last show that made me feel that way is Twisted Metal. That show's great.
Haven't seen it. Should.
It's worth getting into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you play Twisted Metal. Too. If you're a big fan of Twisted Metal, you'll watch it. But I don't think anyone's that big of a fan. Casuals don't know like the story.
Yeah, it's something that you had to play as a kid.
Yeah, so. I mean, like this, you're just smashing cars together. Like that's why people like it. Cars. I'm living my inner boy. Like you're.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I think it's either 4 plus 5 minus. It's that borderline of like it's close to elite. I don't know if I can give it the elite score yet. Because at the end of season 1, it kind of fell off a little bit, just a little bit. It's still a 4 by all means. But I don't know if it's like, oh, this is the greatest show ever. If season 2 comes out, I'm not like immediately there. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm checking that out. If that makes sense.
No, 100%. I'm with you. I get you.
Yeah.
I said it earlier, but here's the reason that I give it a 5 plus is it was well done, and it gives have you heard of the curse of like the anime curse for live adaptations? So there's been this thing that's like a curse that for every Hollywood film or Hollywood company that wanted to do an anime, it would just be shitty.
Yeah.
Like terrible.
Like fucking Dragon Ball.
Oh God, dude, we don't talk about it.
That's a 1.
That's
even fucking Avatar. Even though like Avatar is not technically an anime, it's anime inspired.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like if we weren't like deviating it up by like which country made it, Avatar is anime.
Avatar is 100%. That's like the one that I would say is anime. Same with Teen Titans. Teen Titans doesn't have a live action though. I'm just saying in terms of like what it looks like as an anime.
Well, it does technically have a. We don't talk about Teen Titans live action. Actually.
Oh, get the fuck no. We're not talking about that. No. But yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's an anime. I consider it an anime. Yeah. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z had a live action and it was fucking terrible.
Wasn't Piccolo the villain in that movie?
Yeah, and it's
Poor
just
choice.
Ghost in the Shell. That is a classic movie, and I think visual wise, it was done well, but got a lot of backlash for whitewashing. So
wasn't Scarlett Johansson the main character?
Correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can name a few others, even just with Cowboy Bebop. There's always something that seems to be wrong. There's probably one movie that I've ever seen that was done well. Now Speed Racer.
I haven't seen that movie. It's on like that watch.
I honestly, I highly recommend it. It was done by the Wachowski brothers who made The Matrix.
Oh, yep.
It was done. It was done well. So, but even for that, like that wasn't enough for this. An adoption, right, to the masses, where something is so big, it's going to make a shift.
Yep.
One Piece did that.
It did.
One Piece was already popular around the world, and especially over in Japan. But the fact that it captured a whole new audience, a whole new generation of viewers, like, you know how hard that is?
Yeah. To make a cultural impact, like the anime has already made a cultural impact. To make an adaptation that is another cultural impact is huge. It's rare, and One Piece did that. And I felt the ripple effects before I started watching them. Like that's which kind of inspired me to watch it. Even though I like watching the trailer, it looked like it was gonna be, trash. And then watching it, it's like, oh shit. Okay, yep. I understand. I understand what Romero was talking about when he said watch this show.
Yeah. So you give it a 5-, and I know you're a hard critic, but the fact that you even say that's saying a lot.
I think right now I'm at a 4, probably a 4+ if I'm going to lean one way or the other.
That's fair. That's fair.
And that's with like the idea of like season 1. It didn't like end to a point where I was like, yeah. If it had like a slightly better ending, 5-, if not a 5.
But I'm also on the other side of that, where
the cultural side of it.
Yeah. So while you guys are like, oh, this is awesome, I'm over here like, wait till next season.
Oh, that gets me into a couple questions.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to talk more about the anime now. Okay, so I'm up to the sea restaurant.
Okay.
And I noticed that they changed the story for... What's that character's name again? The blonde hair dude. Sanji, yeah. So they changed... The live action changed the story where it's like him on the rock with the chef, right? Is that's different in the live action?
Nope.
Oh, it's the same?
It's spot on.
Oh, it's spot on. Okay. I'm just not at that point where they're explaining it. So that's where I'm at, is the sea restaurant, which I have so many questions about that restaurant. They're Barasti. Like, why in the middle of the freaking ocean?
Barati. Why?
Yeah.
Why not?
Where do they get the resources?
I don't know.
What's the shipping schedule like?
Dog.
How does space travel work? That's a... I say that all the time. Like when I review Star Wars, I do that in the episode with Donald. He's like, "What do you mean? What the fuck does space travel work? How does it work?" In one day, the dude went like from the edge of the galaxy to the middle of the galaxy, back to the edge of the galaxy. Like, how does it work? Like that was my question. I'm like, how does this restaurant function in the middle of the ocean? And also, why is there so many people there?
It's popping, man. It's just popping. When you got it like that.
When you just open up a restaurant in the middle of the sea, people will come. If you build it, they will come. Do they answer those questions at all in the anime?
Of why there's a restaurant
in the middle of the sea? Yeah, or like how it works.
No. Who fucking cares, man? I can tell you. Okay, I can't.
I am that person. I want to know how it works.
Why is there a restaurant in the middle of the ocean? That's kind of explained. It's kind of explained.
I know it's like in the anime, it's like right in front of the Grand Line. Mm-hmm. I'm still like trying to. Like, if it was like, is it at the rock they were stuck at?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
So, is there a reason? Partly. It doesn't explain why there's a restaurant in the middle of the ocean, but it does explain why there's a restaurant. If that makes sense.
I do like the whole like aspect of like when starving sailors come up, they feed them.
Yeah,
I do really like that, especially in the anime with Sanji. He's like, and I know in live action he's also like this, but in the anime it seems like it's a little bit more like, no, we feed these people. Mm-hmm. I do really like that's cool. That's inspirational.
Yeah,
you know, like he doesn't need to feed me. You know, you don't have to pay. Just don't starve.
Yeah,
and the idea of like they were stuck there starving for months, and yeah, so I like some of these backstories for these characters. I'm like, god damn, that's hard,
dude.
And I know it gets worse. I know it gets like, all right, so I have some thoughts. So anime best villain so far for me, again, Claudor is up there. Captain Kuro, even though I was just like, god damn, just finish up already. I also really like Don Krieg.
Yeah.
I forget, he was in the live action, was he or no?
He was, but briefly.
Yeah.
He got off by Mihawk.
Right away.
Whereas
in the anime, I was like, I really like this dude.
Yeah, he's like a big deal.
He's like a big, like, and then he has like guns everywhere. Like when he's like, pop, 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 it's like, god damn, he has a lot of guns.
Yeah.
And the other character that I just like enjoyed but wasn't in the anime was Django. He looks like Michael Jackson. He's always walking backwards. And
yeah.
And then like he always wears glasses, and like the reflection. He always like.
Let's touch on that. Like the way he was introduced as well. Like it wasn't a cool walk in or a close up. This motherfucker is literally just moonwalking
across the island. and he's like following people around. He's like, dude, this dude's been following me around all day, and he just walks backward. He's weird.
I don't know how I would react to that if I saw it. I'd be like, how the fuck?
I'm gonna stay away from this guy. I'm still gonna watch him because like I'm curious of what's his deal, but I'm gonna take a couple steps back. So I just had to throw a Django. I'm like, I don't know if as a villain he's up there.
No, that's a good one. Yeah,
but he's like the one where I'm like, he's interesting. God. Also, the Claudor, the whole like behind the back attack or whatever it's called, and they didn't do it. They did in the anime, but they didn't like make a huge reference for it.
Yeah,
but I'm like, god damn! Everyone's like freaking out, like, not that move, no, Captain, no. And he's just arching his back. I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's just like cutting away, with like no control whatsoever. It's just it's very just like the anime too is like whimsical as well.
You're only on episode 24.
Yeah. I'm sad that I don't get to watch it tonight because I know by the time I go downstairs, Sapphire's passed now.
Yeah.
My best shipmate so far is Nami.
Okay.
She like up to this point, she's queen.
Oh, for 100%.
Like
yeah,
and I feel like live action. Not that the actress is doing a bad job or the writing's doing a bad job, but I feel like she's not like as big or integral to the crew, even though she is. But the anime, she is like the captain in a way. She is like I don't know. She's just the character. She's like the glue for almost.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I don't know if I'd say that I would give her that so far, but she's like the smart character. She's the character who figures the shit out. Like, Luffy's like, we're going to do this. And she's the one that figures out how to do it.
She's the navigator.
She's the intelligence behind the crew.
Luffy's like, we're gonna go left. Nami says, right. Go, oh, we're going right.
You're good at that. Okay, so question for you, and you can say names. Don't say the story so much.
Okay.
Best villain I should look forward to. You don't have to give details. Just give names and maybe like where to expect.
Dude.
Best villains to look forward to. I'll make it easier.
Jacob.
Yep.
I can't even call you Jake with that. Jacob. Here's the thing about One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
When you think, oh man, this is the most villain of all villains.
Mm-hmm.
The writing is just so fucking good. It's so good. You're here, you'll know about a villain, and then when you actually see the villain, you're like, oh, you him.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, dude. There's a lot.
Give me like a name or two.
I'll give you one.
Okay.
I'll give you one because for me, like this was the arc. This was the one that I was like, oh, I'm watching this show every fucking day. Lukey. Some say Lucy.
Okay.
But Lukey. Lucci.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, how far? You're not even gonna say how far?
You'll hear when you hear the name, you'll be like, "Oh, this is it.
Okay.
We have arrived."
Okay. All right. So we have 5 shipmates in the anime, or in the live action. And where I'm at in the anime, I have 5 shipmates. What shipmate should I look forward to that's not on the crew so far?
Like in what sense? One that you'll gravitate to, or one that'll surprise you?
Either or. Just like, what's the shipmate that like we haven't met yet that is going to be like, yeah, like he's a guy or he's a girl.
That's the thing, dude. The writing, I can't. Fuck this shit. Let's just get into it right now.
All right.
Get into it right now. This story, like the story, is so good. I said it once before. I love Dragon Ball Z. That is near and dear to my heart. Mm-hmm. One Piece is so good. I think it is by far the greatest story ever told in terms of a manga, in terms of an anime.
Damn.
That's
big.
It's top tier. Every character that's ever written in that show has some background, like has some story, has some character development.
And I will say, from everything I've seen in the anime so far and everything I've seen from the live action, I'm in. This show, the anime live action, reminds me of another writer who does this very, very well. Mm-hmm. And some people might shake their head when they hear what show I'm talking about or what franchise I'm talking about. And I'm telling you, the writing of the actual writer is amazing compared to the show. And that's Robert Kirkman with Walking Dead and Invincible.
I can see that.
And I say that this as like Walking Dead, the premise is like characters die all the time. Mm-hmm. And like you'll love a character and they'll kill him off. And you're sad, you're upset, you don't care, but you move on because it's replaced by more great characters with more great stories. Invincible's not necessarily like that, where it's like you kill off characters, but like there's just so many characters that like when doing the Invincible like episode that I did, I'm just like talking about up characters to look forward to. I'm like, there's so many great villains, there's so many great characters that haven't been revealed yet. And I felt that way with One Piece. Where I'm like, damn, every character that has focus, I'm into it. I'm intrigued. Like Arlong, intrigued. Clawador, I'm in.
Oh my god.
Even Kaya, like, I'm like, I want to know more.
And that's it. Like, there's a story for everything, and it's not just characters as well. You know how you were talking about Arlong and how it touches on racism and things like that. This is another reason why I say One Piece is by far one of the greatest stories ever told, because it touches on all of those things that we talk about in the world. Racism, gender equality, like the rich and the poor, all that.
Reminds me of Avatar.
I don't think I've watched an episode and I haven't heard of a topic that we haven't touched on. Like that's what fascinates me as well, because it's like, how is this a show that's whimsical, and it's got action and it's got all of this crazy shit, yet at the same time it's touching on very deep topics.
It is deep, dark.
Yeah,
but it has such a great balance to it too. Makes you think. On top of the fact, it makes you think, but it's entertaining at the same time.
And that's hard to pull off.
It really is. Marvel was doing a decent job at it, and then they started like just being entertainment, where they don't have like the sophistication behind the story.
Yeah.
Whereas like so far what I've seen for One Piece, there's sophistication with like the humor.
And I'd say they shred up, and I've said this to people. As the anime went on and I'm just locked in, I've cried. Like, I'm sure, like, if I'm being honest, I've cried every episode. Because it's that good.
I love stories that make me cry.
It's that good.
Like, if it makes me feel that emotion and I'm just bawling, I'm like, I love it. It's weird because I had said something about how I like. It was one of the, I forget what episode it is. I talked about grief as an emotion from writing. Yeah. And I was like, I love grief. Like, I love like writing about grief. And then my brother-in-law died. And I was like, God damn it, I didn't love grief that bad. Fuck you, world. You know, but like, I enjoy that emotion. I enjoy feeling like something that moves me in that way. And like empathizing with the character. And I feel like One Piece has that, like that writing where you can empathize. I'm not there yet in the anime or like the show, but I'm like, I know it's coming. I know there's heartbreaking losses coming up, and I'm excited for it in a weird way.
I'll say this. So you're not there in the anime where you hear about, like, I'd say Nami's story, Nami's arc. You see it in the live action, but when you get to that anime, when you get to it in the anime, that's the beginning, I would say.
One of my friends who does, I don't know, I would say more acquaintance, but like who does a podcast, he's all in on One Piece. And he had a video where he was touching upon Nami in the anime hits so much harder.
Oh, 100%.
Live action. And I feel like the live action version, I was kind of bored with that story. It kind of just felt like it dragged a little bit. Not that I wasn't intrigued, like it wasn't good. It was just like it like slowed the story down.
You can only pack so much in to 8 episodes.
Yep.
And like the way that it was done, I think it was well done in terms of live action, but Nami's story and her connection with Arlong and stuff, you have to watch the anime to truly feel it. Like, you watch the live action and you got like, oh yeah, I see this is some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
You want to feel it? Watch the anime.
I will say that I heard this before, where like the anime, like, it doesn't gloss over anything. If anything, it over explains everything.
Yeah.
And I would say it, yeah. Like we've already discussed, where it's like, all right, move on already. And I felt that, but I do like the fact that like, no, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna get these emotions. You're gonna, like, your heartstrings are gonna get pulled. Whereas like the live action, they have to move on.
Yeah.
All right. I have one more question for you.
Okay.
What is an arc that makes you go, holy shit? The first arc that made you go, oh, fuck.
Can't tell you.
Can't say?
I can't tell you. I cannot tell you.
Oh, you're hurting me right here.
Dude.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the moment where you're like, you're building up, like, oh, this is great, and then there's like just that one moment, the holy shit moment, where you're just like, yeah, I'm in for all of it.
Yeah, I cannot tell you.
Is it gonna happen in season 2?
No. No.
So I'll say like again, Invincible is like one of the shows and comics that like.
Shout out to Invincible, by the way. That's a really good. It's just fucking.
This isn't going to be an Invincible podcast. Like I'm covering every single episode, and I'm probably doing it by myself.
Nah, man, I'm for it.
You're for it. You're gonna join me every week.
I'm down.
Oh man,
I don't know about every week. You know what it is, dude.
Like that. I tried doing that with Donald for Mandalorian. God damn, it got a lot. It's hard. Shout out to Donald. But no, I might talk about it every week. Maybe not. I might just, first half, second half. But do you want to be my Invincible guy?
Sure.
We got an Invincible guy. But like that moment was like the moment where his dad snapped.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the first like oh shit moment. And then later on there's multiple like god damn, this is good.
This is the only hint that I'm going to give you.
Okay.
Lukey. Mm-hmm. When you hear that name, that's like for me, that arc, that's when shit really changed. And that's when I really started to put things together in terms of the story as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh shit. Oh. All
right.
And even the character development in there, especially for Luffy, you're like,
damn.
I am 100% the fuck in. I'm locked in.
I'm excited for it.
I'm going to tell you this, though.
Okay.
And this is funny because this dives into what we talked about, you, me, and Ernie in the episode talking about Marvel.
Yeah.
Ratings, right? One Piece is so fucking good. It's so good. You think you're watching one arc, yet you don't realize there's like 2 to 3 arcs within that one.
It's all interlocked.
Mm-hmm.
It's you haven't watched Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is like that.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is like one of those like there's so many threads going on, and like they'll talk about the bunch of history in the past, and like it takes you 2 or 3 or 4 times to even like realize how much it's setting up the initial seasons, and it's such a great slow burn. And I can feel that with like One Piece, where it's like, oh, that's a weird one-off character that you haven't.
Yeah.
Like Mihawk, I'm like, that's goddamn. I'm like, I know he's coming later. I don't know when or how, but I'm like, I'm excited for it.
And I don't want to say too much. I don't want to ruin it for you, but I'll say this with the live action, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the introduction to Romanoa Zoa? Zoro? I don't know why I keep saying Zoa. Yes, I do, because something happened in One Piece later. The introduction to Romanoa Zoro, and he slices up that guy.
Yep.
Do you remember what?
He's part of. Was it? It wasn't the cat pirate. Was
Nope.
It? I forget which pirate it was.
He's with the Barracks. Hopefully, I'm not butchering that. Barracks Corps.
That sounds familiar. I think you're butchering it, though.
I am butchering it, but go back to it. People will look at that. They probably wouldn't even think like, oh, it's just a one-off. You have no fucking idea how deep that goes. The fact that they even said that, it was like, okay.
I was questioning that too, because I'm like, oh, like Zoro has such a like interesting in the live action. There's much more, whereas like the anime they haven't shown that much yet. And also the fact that his like partner died somehow. Did they touch on that more? Because she's just like in the live action, she's just dead. I'm like fast forward back. I'm like, how did she die? I know.
Yeah, they do. They
Okay.
do. They do. I'll even give you one more just for fun. Jinbei. Do you remember hearing that name?
No.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
That's good.
I'm gonna look it up anyway.
Don't Google it.
Oh no. You might not. Okay, I have one more question, and then I have two lists.
Okay.
Okay, last question. How amazing is season 2 going to be for live action?
Chopper's coming, so that'll be interesting.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think the world is ready for you guys. It's a great fucking story, and the fact that they did it right in terms of a live action. Tune in, lock in. The character development there, the story is it's fantastic. And the next crewmate for the Straw Hats, Chopper, is gonna be good.
Nice. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited just to dig into the anime.
Dude, you're gonna cry. I told you, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry.
Mm-hmm.
You're in for an adventure.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, it's inspired me to want to write again, which we'll get into afterwards.
Okay.
Okay, so I have a list for you. So I asked AI, ChatGPT, to give me two lists.
Okay.
Top 10 characters of the anime and top 10 villains.
Fuck.
And
10?
10.
That's a lot.
All right, so I'm going to do... actually, I think this is crewmates. This is either crewmates or characters.
Okay.
So number 10 is Jinbei. You already mentioned him.
Yeah.
Brooke at number 9.
Uh-huh.
8 is Frankie. 7 is Nico Robin. 6 is Chopper. 5 is Sanji. 4 is Usopp. 3 is Nami. 2 is Zoro. 1 is Monkey D. Luffy.
That, I'll tell you this right now.
This is just AI, by the way.
Yeah, so that list has to get deleted.
Okay.
That list has to get deleted.
It's just trash.
Yeah, well, here's why I say that. It's not because it's not ranking them in like, oh, who's great, who's popular. It's literally giving you a sneak peek of the story.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta just trash that list.
So you're not gonna like my villains list, huh?
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Number 10, Hottie Jones.
Okay. Keep going.
9, Magellan.
Keep going.
Megalon. All right. 8, Gecko Moria.
Okay.
7 is Arlong.
Okay.
6 is Katakuri.
Mm-hmm.
5 is Doflamingo.
Okay.
Number 4 is Luki.
Okay.
Number 3 is Enel.
Okay.
Number 2 is Sir Crocodile.
Really? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. And number 1?
Blackbeard.
I would rearrange some of those for sure.
Yeah.
But the name, like the fact that it dropped some names on it, dude. I'm telling you. I'm
gonna forget these names by the time.
Good. I gave you one name, and I said Luki.
Yep.
On that list alone, shit is coming. All right. Like, the characters are coming, but you want to talk about villains? How I said you'll hear about a name and you'll think nothing of it, but then later on it's like, oh shit. Some of the names that are on there, you'll hear their name. You'll probably never think about it again, but then you start seeing small things and you're like, it's like how it was with fucking Thanos.
Yeah. You heard about Thanos, and then boom, he was there. It's like, oh, that's
Thanos.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's him. Oh shit. I'm excited for it.
So,
all right. So let's talk about inspiration. This show inspired me to want to do an audio show. And because I'm like, I write comics, and I don't know if you heard the thing. I did a little dialogue reading or a monologue reading.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just made me like want to do it because I'm like, ooh, I was like looking back at sometimes like some of my writing, I impress myself sometimes. I'm like, wait, I wrote that?
Nice.
Not to like, but like I will think that like I would forget like what I wrote and then I read it. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Oh yeah, I wrote this. Okay.
I'm him.
But like this show made me like want to make a One Piece like show where, because the Don't Involve Me has a lot of crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Ernie, Tom, you, those are like the first four I thought of. But then Brandon you've met.
Mm-hmm.
You met my now brother-in-law Michael.
Mm-hmm.
And then Moser as well. And then there's Donald. I was forgetting Donald. And and everybody else who's joined on. I'm like, oh, this would really be really cool to get like the guests to, kind of like embody a character and like kind of just make a story off of it. And I pitched it to my wife. She's like, you're just making One Piece. I'm like, shut up, it's different. Same. Have you ever played Fallout?
No.
Okay, so Fallout RPG, you're building your character, right?
Yeah.
And there's 7 stats that you initially can build your character up in. Depending on where you put these stats, your game play is vastly different.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout's pretty good with that. And what they call it is special. And so I'm basing it kind of off this. If I had 7 characters together as like a crew, and this also kind of reminds me of D&D too, and I might just scrap this story to whatever we do when we do our D&D and make like our own characters then. But then I also know that other podcast shows have already done this and made anime shows too. So either way, I want to make a show about 7 characters where it's based off like they have those attributes in like certain areas. So for example, special is an acronym. So strength, perception, endurance, agility, charisma, intelligence, and luck.
Okay.
And I have ideas for 3 characters so far. Charisma, luck, and strength.
Okay.
And just like playing those characters and building those characters and then seeing how they interact with different like I'm still building the characters in my head. But I had you pegged for one of them that I'm like interested. And Ernie tried jacking this one. I'm like, no. Like I don't know if you could pull it off. And that's the charisma character.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like you could maybe pull it off.
I'm honored. I don't see it, but okay.
You might have the voice for it. Ernie, I'm like, man, you're so chill. I'm like, Ernie, when he said you do it, I'm like, do you have the voice acting chops to pull off charisma? Because like that's the hardest job. Like this is going to be the hardest character to do. But I want to know your insights with like One Piece, because this is essentially inspired by One Piece. The premise that I think I'm going with, I have a world map that I've been using for a lot of stories, and I think I'm going to use it for this one. The idea is similar to One Piece, but more, there's a overarcher emperor of this whole land. He rules this whole continent. It's like the size of Africa.
Okay.
And actually, when I think about it, it actually is very similar in the shape of Africa. That was not planned. But I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it's similar.
That's very
but the geography, it's similar in shape, but not necessarily in like geographical locations.
Yeah.
The desert isn't in the north; it's in the south. It's different.
Okay.
But the idea of like there's 32 different states.
Okay.
Or 32 different territories, and the emperor's like, you know what? I'm sick of ruling all of you. You figure it out who rules, which state rules everybody, and you guys go to war. He starts a war, an internal civil war for his entertainment.
Okay.
And the idea is like these characters at first are escaping, and then they're like, fuck it, we're going to fight back. And so that's kind of like the premise I'm going with. So my question for you is, what type of characters should we like go for? What character are you interested in? I'm doing a whole episode on this in 2 days.
I don't know.
Or like, which character would you be interested if you were to be in this show?
If I were to be in the show?
Yeah. Strength, perception, endurance, agility, intelligence, charisma, luck.
I would go with charisma, but the reason that I say that is because this is a world that you're creating, right? This is something that you're mapping out. So if you see something in me, like, that's something that I have to go with.
Mm.
That's the best way I could describe it.
Yeah. I also want to give, like, the people I'm working with, I wanted them to take a character and like run with it as well. Or who else are, like, of all the people that you know that were on the show, who fits other characteristics? I have Ernie pegged down in strength, and I have an idea for his character.
I would agree with that 100%.
I don't know if you'd like the story aspect of it, but I'm excited for it. I'll just give you the tidbit. Somebody who's super strong, but has the personality of a grandma.
Yeah, that's Ernie.
Right?
That's Ernie. I've said it to so many people. I'm like, I fucking love Ernie. That dude is so chill. But I dread the day he gets mad. Like, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. It'd be scary, son.
I had Tom Pegg's intelligence, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it.
Okay.
I feel like he could pull it off, but I'm also trying to get some, like, female characters, at least 2. My initial idea is getting endurance and agility back and forth, and have them be, like, the heavy hitters of the group.
Okay, sure.
Like, one's the fighter, one's, like, the fast.
I could see that. Who do you have an idea for in terms of luck?
Initially, I thought me, but I'm not sure yet. I'm really liking the luck character. So here's the kind of the background of the luck character. Okay. So this character growing up had so much tragedy in his childhood, where like he had there was a moment where his village got raided. And this is just I might change this, so this might not even be the backstory. But sure. The general theme of the backstory is his whole family got slaughtered at the age of like 5 or 6. Okay. And ever since that moment, like he had a bunch of bad things happen. His philosophy in life is, I've had all the bad things happen to me at an early age. I've had so many bad things happen that I ran out of bad luck. So I am forever going to be lucky. So he goes through life not giving a flying fuck about like what's happening because he knows it's going to turn out. Okay. And it just happens to turn out, which is the catalyst for the story. Because something happens that inspires action. I already have like the idea of what's going to happen. Okay. But this character, the charisma character, is going to be kind of like the main character, and he's going to find the luck character and see what's happening. And he's going to try to use the luck character to his advantage. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. But the luck character is just like, okay, I'll go with you. The world is moving. Essentially, he's a leaf in a river. He just goes. He just goes. And he knows it's going to work out. That's interesting. That's like, oh my God. It makes me think, it's like, I don't know. The best way I can describe it is like a lucky compass. Yeah. Like, there's a compass it'll always guide you, it'll take you there. But with somebody who's lucky, it's like, we should go this way. What? No, we should go this way. It's like, nah, I'm going to go this way. It's like, let's follow him to make sure he doesn't do anything stupid. But then something great happens. Like, something so phenomenal happens. Everybody just kind of looks at him like, he's like, yeah, I told you, go this way. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to. And I just think the playoff of, like, because the charisma dude's going like, no, I'm going to convince you to go this way. All right. And then, like, bad things happen. Yeah. But, like, it doesn't happen to him. It just happens around him. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, you know, like, for example, if, like, a giant paintball, like, splattered, it wouldn't affect him. It just, like, somehow magically he's just, like. That's very interesting. Just luck's on 10. Goes to the casino. All right, sweet. I won already.
Okay.
But like maybe not like make it as like obvious.
Yeah.
Like it works in different ways. Like he's just constantly losing at like a casino, and you're just like, man, you have like bad luck. And he's like, yeah, all right. How about one more spin? Jackpot. Just like motherfucker.
If we're talking like One Piece esque, right?
Yeah.
You gotta start small. Like
no, that's what my thought
give 'em
process
crumbs.
is. It's like it builds.
Yeah.
And that's where like the One Piece inspiration. Like, all right, I'm building a crew. But I just like the idea of like, man, this map is huge. There's going to be essentially 32 generals for a war,
dude.
and it's not going to be that big.
That's a lot.
It is. And I'm like, I'm just building a story. It's just a simple, we're going to start small. And if it goes somewhere, cool. If we don't even do it, fine. It's just fun.
I'm interested. I'm definitely interested.
All right.
So let me know.
We'll do. Any more thoughts on One Piece? I'm excited.
I'm glad you're on board. Like I'm glad.
I like your choice of words.
I'm honestly. No pun intended.
I'm on board. I will. Okay. Monkey Luffy. The fact that he's just like, all right, I got a new crewmate. It's like, we're not your crew. No, you're my crew. I just like he's like the extrovert that just like takes the introvert and is like, hey, we're going to do this. You're like, no, I'm not going out. No, we're going out tonight. No, I'm gonna play video games inside, eat Cheetos, and be by myself. You're like, no, we're going to the bar. You're gonna meet a girl. It's gonna be great. Like he's like that friend.
Luffy is very weird. Like, and it's so funny that you say that because that's how I think about him. Somebody will tell him no, and he does not care. Luffy doesn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. And he's just like he has like the low care too. Like,
yeah,
he's just like, all right, this bad thing happened. Where's food? Like I'm hungry. Like we just had this traumatic thing happen. It's like yeah, it's over with now. Let's eat. But like as soon as you fuck with his friends, it's over.
Yeah, it's done.
You just like, and I just love that line. No one fucks with my friends. And I really like the backstory of that too. With like I can't think of his name. It's
hard, right? A lot of characters. Shanks.
Yeah, Shanks. Mm-hmm. Just like the whole thing with Shanks in the bar, where it's like it's spilled glass, and I resonate a lot with that, just because like I work, working with kids.
Yeah.
If you take offense to everything these kids did, you're not having a great time. I actually tell like the kids I work with, like I don't actually like when you say bad things to me, like. Because, like, these kids get bothered by him.
Right.
There's kids that go out of their way to be antagonists, and they get riled up. And I try to, like, tell them, like, hey, they're trying to rile you up. They're trying, and they're succeeding. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you said this, and this to me. Actually, I don't even remember what you said to me. I know you said names to me. It just, like, one year out the other. Doesn't bother me. Doesn't faze me. Take the power away. I don't know where I was going with that, but
spot on. Yeah.
But like Monkey D. Luffy's just like that. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. The external world does not affect your internal.
Yeah.
Doesn't give a fuck. So who has more influence? Like who's influencing who, basically?
Mm-hmm. He's like a weirdly he's a leader without the plan, but he's like has the inspiration. Mm-hmm. I know you're not in football. I'd say he's Dan Campbell.
I get you. Yeah.
Where he's like he's going to inspire everybody to be great. He doesn't necessarily have the plan, but I like the fact that he's like, you know what? I'm going to find great people. And there's a lot of luck when it comes to that. Obviously, like plot armor, like there's not like you're not going to find these great people all the time. But I like that he like you can see in the anime and the live action, he just has his eye out. He's like, who can I add to my crew? Hey, this person has great heart. I want him in.
That's a very interesting thing about this show in general, be it live action or anime. Like, if you really think about it, look at other ships, right? Other crewmates and stuff from, be it pirates or marines, and you can just see them like with a ton of people. Luffy is rolling with a gang of 5, including himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, his power set. Also, we didn't even talk about the devil fruit.
sure.
Or Buggy. I will say, when Buggy came out, I knew it was like, I'm like, when Buggy came out, Twisted Metal has like, I can't think of the clown's name, Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, I'm sick of these like type of villains trying to be Joker-esque. But I'm like, I know One Piece came out before Twisted Metal. I know it came like same time as like Joker, maybe a little bit after.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, man, I'm so sick of these like type of villains. Like they're great villains, but they're so like they're used often. Like the clown, the funny maniacal clown.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like them. Like, oh, he's not the biggest villain. He's a small time, and I'm like, and he's not even funny.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Well, not live action, at least.
I thought he was decent.
Well, I thought he was like he was entertaining.
That's a better word. Yeah, he was like, entertaining.
But like after watching Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal, who Will Arnett voices him.
Yeah,
he's so good. it's that's like you watch that show for Twisted Metal. I don't know how to explain him. He's someone you don't want to be around, but like you want to just watch.
Yeah.
Like he has like that uneasy, like, hey, if you don't make him happy, it's the same concept where like you have to clap for him. He wants to entertain people.
Yeah.
And if you don't find him funny, he'll just slaughter you. But if you like suck up to him, he's like your best friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Buggy's similar. More the concept of like, hey, I'm gonna take this whole town, and they're gonna clap for me because I'm funny. So that's where I'm like, when Buggy came out, I'm like, it's not better than Sweet Tooth. But I'm like, I know that like,
yeah, I get you. That's a tough comparison.
Yeah. Also, Joker is like one of the best villains ever. So when you have like a Joker-esque villain, it's, you know.
Yeah, I get you.
And I try to like, I do like that type of villain, but like writing him that type of villain, it's like, it can't beat Joker.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. Like, he's top tier, and when you think of a villain that's a clown, the only person that really comes to mind is Joker. Everyone else is like,
yeah.
So
Sweet Tooth is up there though. He does a really good job.
He's up there for sure.
All right. Any more to say on One Piece?
It's just a really good story, man. It's just, it's so fucking good. Think about this. You're on episode 24, right? Just the beginning. It talks about Gold D. Roger and saying, I left this treasure. Go and find it.
Yeah.
So you think, like, all right, this is a show about some fucking kid going out for treasure and trying to be king of pirates, whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's not.
It's deeper than that.
I like it.
So yeah,
I'm trying to find the ending song. I can't find it right away. We ended with the theme. I'm like, I gotta end it with the. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for checking out Don't Involve Me. This is the One Piece episode. We finally did it. It was a lot sooner than I thought it was gonna be. I'm sorry, bro. You told me to watch it 9 months ago. I'm here. I'm doing it now.
I'm glad. Hey, just like how it is with One Piece, start small. Here we are.
All right. Thank you, Romero. I'm blanking on the middle name.
That's all right. And that's a wrap, Green.
Yep. Well, wait. No, it's not an A. It doesn't work.
And
it's a wrap. Okay, never mind. You got me there. And it's a wrap. Romero. And it's a wrap. Green from the Symposium podcast. We didn't even name drop it, but we just did now. Thank you for checking out Don't Involve Me. This is the One Piece episode. We out.